Moving on in our textbook to chapter 4. 4.1 is writing equations in slope-intercept form. We've talked about this form a little bit in chapter 3. Can someone raise your hand and tell me what slope-intercept form is? Yeah.
Y equals mx plus b.
Yeah, y equals mx plus b. Everyone remembers that? Everyone knows what that form is. Slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. If I'm writing equations in slope-intercept form, what two pieces of information do you think I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form? One of those is true. What does the B stand for on slope-intercept form? Y-intercept. So I need a y-intercept. What else do I need in order to write it in slope-intercept form? A slope. If I have those two pieces of information, I can write my equation in slope-intercept form. Does that make sense? Okay. So example 1. Write an equation of each line with the given slope and y-intercept. Once again, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So, what does the m represent in slope-intercept form? Slope. What does the b represent in slope-intercept form? Y-intercept. So on letter A, do I have a slope?
Yes.
Yeah. Do I have a y-intercept?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all the information I need. Now I can just start plugging in. So for letter A, I'm going to replace -3 with my slope, my m value. So I get y equals -3x. I'm going to replace my y-intercept, 1/2 with b. So plus 1/2. Do I now have an equation of the line?
Yes.
Yes, I do. There's my answer. That's all I have to do there. If you have the slope and y-intercept, plug in the slope for m, plug in the y-intercept for b. And there's your answer. Questions on A? Pretty easy?
Yes.
Hopefully?
Very.
Very? Good. So letter B gives us a slope of 0 and a y-intercept of -2. Raise your hand if you can tell me the answer for letter B. Raise your hand. You guys don't listen very well. Yes. Just -2.
For B? Yeah.
I said give me the answer, the whole equation.
Y equals 0x minus 2.
Y equals 0x minus 2. Does everyone agree with that? No? Why not? There you go. You could just put y equals -2. That'd be the most simplified form of the equation. However, if you wrote it like this, I wouldn't count it wrong because that's still technically correct. So either one of those would work. Does that make sense though? Plug in 0 for slope, your m value. Plug in -2 for b, your y-intercept value. Okay? Any questions on example 1, A or B? Feel pretty good about that one? Can I move on? All right. Previous slide, we were given the slope and the y-intercept. Now we're given a graph, and it wants us to write the equation of the graph. Okay? It wants it in slope-intercept form, right? What two things do I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form?
The triangle thingies.
What two things do I need in order to write it? Y-intercept and slope. I need the slope and I need the y-intercept in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form. Does that make sense? I need the slope and the y-intercept to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So on letter A, do they give me the slope? Do they explicitly say the slope of this line is blank? No. Can I easily find the slope of this line? Yes. So that's probably what I need to do first, to find the slope. Okay? Do you guys want to use rise over run or our slope formula? Rise over run, okay. So I'm going to draw my triangle between my 2 points. The height of my triangle is the what of the slope? The rise or the run? Rise. The width of the triangle is the run. So I need rise over run, correct? So The height of this triangle is what? How tall is this triangle? 6 units, right? So that's my rise. The width of my triangle is my run. What is the width? 4. Everyone okay with how we got 6 for the rise, 4 for the run?
Yes. Yes.
Moving too fast for anybody. Okay. And then I need to ask myself, what does slope dude say on that line going uphill from left to right? Puff, puff, positive. So my slope needs to be a positive number. That's already the case. So I know I've got the correct sign. Can my slope be simplified any?
No. But yes.
Yeah, what does 6 over 4 reduce to? 3 over 2. So there's my slope, 3 over 2. Positive 3 over 2. We okay finding the slope? Okay. I need a y-intercept as well. In general, a y-intercept is what? What is a y-intercept?
When the line crosses the y-axis.
Where my graph crosses the y-axis, right? The y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. So am I able to tell where the y-intercept is here? Yeah, what's my y-intercept? -3, yeah. My graph's crossing the y-axis at -3. It also gives me the ordered pair so I can see that it has an x value of 0. I know that's my y-intercept. Does that make sense? So my y-intercept is -3. What two things do I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form? Y-intercept and slope. Do I have a slope? Do I have a y-intercept? Yeah, now I can build my equation. Okay? Someone raise your hand and read off the equation to me.
Y equals
3 over 2.
2/3 x plus or minus 3.
Very good. Y equals 3/2 x minus 3. There it is. Questions on example 2a? You okay with that? Still pretty easy, hopefully? Just taking it a step farther, I've got to find the slope myself, and then I've got to identify the y-intercept myself. Letter B. What do you think we need to find first?
The y-intercept.
What?
The slope.
Yeah, let's find the slope first. Once again, rise over run. Draw my triangle. Everyone okay drawing the triangle between the 2 points? Okay, raise your hand. If you can tell me the height of my triangle here, the rise.
3.
Raise your hand. Yes.
3.
3, then make sure we're listening. Over, raise your hand. Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. If you can tell me the run, the width of my triangle.
4.
Yep. 4. Is everyone okay how we're getting 3 over 4?
Yes.
Height of the triangle is my rise. 1, 2, 3. Width of my triangle is the run. 1, 2, 3, 4. We okay there? Okay, what does slope dude say going downhill from left to right? Nice negative. My slope needs to be a negative number, so I know my slope's going to be negative. That's a terrible negative. -3/4. We okay finding the slope? Okay, raise your hand if you can tell me the y-intercept here.
2.
2. It is 2, yes. I can see my graph is crossing the y-axis at +2. It also gives me the ordered pair. Once again, it has an x value of 0. I know that's my y-intercept. Okay? Questions how we got the slope and y-intercept? Okay, what two things do I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form? Y-intercept and slope. Do I have a slope?
Yes.
Yep. Do I have a y-intercept?
Yes.
Yeah, now I can build the equation. Someone raise your hand. Tell me the equation. Yep. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, y equals -3/4 x. Wait, 2?
+2, yep. Very good. Replace your slope with m in the equation. Replace your y-intercept with b. And you got your equation. Y equals -3/4 x plus 2. Any questions on that? Feeling pretty good? Previous slide. we were given the slope and the y-intercept. Here we were given a graph, so we had to find the slope and the y-intercept ourselves. Next slide, I'm just given two ordered pairs. And it wants me to write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through these 2 points. Okay? What two things do I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form? Slope and a y-intercept, right? I'm going to keep repeating that so it's hammered into your head. I need a slope. That's okay. It's okay. No pain, no gain, right? Does it explicitly tell me what the slope is on letter A? No. Can I easily find the slope on letter A?
Yeah.
How?
Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1.
What do we call that? Slope.
Interject one.
It's my slope formula, right? I'm going to use my slope formula here. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. You need to have that memorized if you don't already have it memorized. We're going to be using that a lot in this chapter. We already used it some in chapter 3. We're going to use it a lot more in chapter 4. Okay? So, here it just gives me two ordered pairs that I have to use. Chapter 3, it gave me a table of values. I could pick any two values I wanted, right?
Yes.
Can I do that here? No, I have to use the two ordered pairs they gave me. Okay? So, between the two ordered pairs, remember an ordered pair is written x comma y. Y2 just means my second y value. So, between my two ordered pairs, what's my second y value? -1. So I'm plugging that in for y2. Bring your minus sign over from the formula. What's my first y value? 5. Plug that in for y1. Everyone okay with my numerator? Okay, what's my second x value?
X2, 0.
0. Bring your minus sign over from the formula. And what's my first x value? -3. Any confusion with how I plugged into my slope formula? Okay, what's -1 minus 5? -6. Two negatives right next to each other makes a positive. Stay, change. What's 0 plus 3? 3. -6 divided by 3 gives me -2. Any questions how we found our slope here? You need to know the slope formula and how to use it. Okay? Am I given a y-intercept?
No.
No? I am?
Isn't it like -1?
Why is it -1?
Because it's X is 0 and yeah.
Very good. One of the ordered pairs they gave me has an x value of 0, correct?
Yeah.
The y-intercept occurs when
X equals 0.
x equals 0. So, I've got an x value of 0. I know that's my y-intercept. We said our y-intercept is -1. What two things do I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form? Slope and a y-intercept. Do I have those two things now? Yeah. Raise your hand if you can give me the equation.
Is it Y equals -2x minus 1?
There we go. Y equals -2x minus 1. Plug your slope in for M. Plug your y-intercept in for B. Questions on 3A? Yeah.
How do you know which wires to put in?
It's the one that has the x value of 0. So in this case, it's 0, -1. So I know that's my y-intercept. Okay? Now in the future, probably, I think it's next section actually, 4.2, you'll be given two ordered pairs and one of them will not be your y-intercept. We'll learn how to deal with that when we get there. But on all the problems we do today, one of them should be your y-intercept. One of them should have an x value of 0. Okay? Questions on letter A? Letter B. Same thing, right? Find our slope first. What's my second y value?
-5.
-5. Bring your minus sign over from the formula. What's my first y value? -5. over, what's my second x value? 8. Bring your minus sign over. First x value? 0. Are we feeling pretty good about plugging into the slope formula? Second y value first, minus your first y value. Second x value first, minus your first x value. Two negatives right next to each other makes a
Positive.
positive. State change. Negative 5 plus 5 gives me 0. 8 minus 0. 8. 0 divided by 8. 0. Questions how we got our slope? We good? Okay, do I have a y-intercept?
Yeah.
What is it?
Negative 5.
-5. I know that because that's the ordered pair that has an x value of 0. We okay identifying the y-intercept? What two things do I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form?
Y-intercept and slope.
Slope and a y-intercept. Do I have a slope?
Yes.
Yeah, do I have a y-intercept?
Yeah.
Yep, let's build our equation. Everybody at the same time. Y equals? -5. We got that because it's y equals 0x minus 5. So if you put that, that'd be correct. If you put that, that is also correct. Questions on 3b? Any questions up to this point? I got one more example for you. Well, yeah, one more. Can I move on? Here we go. Write a linear function f with the values f of 0 equals 10 and f of 6 equals 34. Any ideas what we're going to do here? Any ideas? Throw them at me even if they're wrong. Come on. I need some help here. I can sit here silently too, so I got all class period.
Are we supposed to put them?
Huh?
Replace 6 with 0.
Say that again.
Replace 6 with 0.
Place 6 with 0? Not quite. Thank you for answering though. Anyone else? Yeah?
With like, since like f of 0 would be y, would you graph it at like 10x?
Say that again.
Like, so since f of 0 would be like nothing on the y-axis, would that mean that 10 is the x-intercept?
10 is not the x-intercept. You're close. You're onto something. What'd you say?
Y-intercept,
How do you know it's the y-intercept?
because the f of 0 will represent the x.
So how would you write that as an ordered pair? 0, 10, right? This is function notation. F of whatever is function notation, right? So what did they replace their x value with here?
0.
0, so that's the x value for my ordered pair. F of x, or f of whatever number we're evaluating that function at, would be my y value. So my y value is 10. So 0, 10. Yes?
I thought f of whatever usually was like a y value.
Yes. F of whatever equals 10. There's my y value.
Times your y value?
Yep.
I thought f
So this would be originally be written as f of x, right? They replaced the x with 0. They didn't replace the f of x with 0, did they? They took the x out, put 0 in its place. Okay? The function evaluated at the x value of 0 equals 10. So that's my y value. Okay? So how would this one be written as an ordered pair?
6, 10, or 34.
6, 34, right? Well, here they replace the x value with 6. The function evaluated at the x value of 6 equals 34. That's my y value. Everyone okay with that? So this just turns into a problem just like our previous slide. right? Because I'm writing a linear function f with the values f of 0 equals 10, f of 6 equals 34. I now have my two ordered pairs. So what do I need to do here?
M equals Y to.
Find my slope, right? Using your slope formula. So between my two ordered pairs, what's the second y value? 34 minus first y value. 10 over second x value. 6 minus first x value. 0. Hopefully you guys are going to be very, very, very good at plugging into the slope formula because we're going to do it a lot. 34 minus 10.
24.
24. 6 minus 0. 24 divided by 6.
4.
Any questions how I got my slope? Okay. Do I know my y-intercept here? What is it? 10, because it's got an x value of 0. What two things do I need in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form?
Slope and y-intercept.
Slope and y-intercept. Do I have a slope?
Yeah.
Yeah, do I have a y-intercept? Yeah. Someone raise your hand and give me the equation.
Y equals 4x plus 10.
Everyone agree with that? I disagree.
Is it Y equals 10x plus 4?
Nope. There's just a minor difference here. It says write a linear function f with the values.
So it would be F equals.
It'd be what?
F equals.
Not f equals.
F of X.
4x.
F of x equals 4x plus 10.
Oh, God.
We do treat f of x like y, but if they ask specifically for a, excuse me, a function f, I need to make it as f of x. So, if it asks for a linear function f, make sure you trade your y out for an f of x. Or if it says for a linear function g, do g of x. Anything like that. Okay? Does everyone see how we handled this one though?
Yeah.
We just turned our values into ordered pairs and treated it just like our previous problems. Okay? How are we feeling about today's lesson?
Easy.
Give me a thumbs up if you're good with it, thumbs down if you're bad with it, thumbs to the side if you're okay with it. If you got a thumbs down or a thumbs to the side, is there any questions I can answer that might help clarify? Okay, maybe we can feel better about it with more practice. Okay? Here's your practice. Page 183, numbers 2 through 28 evens. It's about 14 problems. This will be due
Can you give me a piece of paper too?
Wednesday, the 16th, on Canvas. Make sure you get it written down. Make sure you get the correct heading on your paper. Name, date, period, assignment in the upper right-hand corner. Get it written down so I can take it off the board and pull it up and kind of walk you through it. Any questions about the notes before I end the recording?